Yes, dear children, very, very good afternoon. Wish me good afternoon by raising your hands once. Yes, thank you very much. Okay. So, yesterday because of network issue here, we could not complete the last part of the lesson labor, no? Sociology lesson it is. We have understood who is sending emoji. Nice. Anyhow, so labor we were discussing now, children. Labor means what? What is the meaning of labor? What is division of labor? What is specialization? Plato's book Republic, Karl Marx, the founder of socialism. About all these things we have discussed. No? Then we have also studied about what? The difference between laborers of organized sector and unorganized sector. I have told you that this is very easy, dead easy question, and you can expect it for how many marks? 3 or 4. Very easy. They have fixed time to work, they don't have fixed time to work. Their salary is not fixed. Here it is fixed, right? So very easy, you can grab. It is pocket marks. 3 marks, pocket marks you have. So now let us discuss the last part of the lesson, that is problems faced by the people of the laborers of unorganized sector. Challenges faced by the laborers of unorganized sector. Whatever things we have discussed already, the same is covered here. But few things, let us see once. Let us check it once. Okay. So yesterday we were discussing about migration. No. So first of all, let me share the page for you. Wait a few minutes. Wait a minute, children. It's okay. Yeah, I cannot share the page. I'll explain. Okay, you listen to me. Migration is one of the important problems faced by these people. It is the key feature of unorganized sector. So here in a book called Footlosers. What is the name of the book? Remember, it is Footlosers. Okay. So Footlosers. In this book, the study about this migration is discussed. Footlosers, it is the book, and here the circulation, how the migration circulates, about that discussion is there, the study is found here. It is the basic problem, because once they do not find work in a particular place, they have to leave that place and they have to go to another place and they have to get settled down there. So this is one important problem. Then next one is social security will not be there. That we have discussed. No, what is social security and what problems are there? That already we have discussed. A situation where a person is unable to earn the income which is necessary for satisfying, fulfilling his daily needs. Okay, so what very basic necessities that if we cannot satisfy, that is called what, children? Your social security, insecurity, which is not secure. So this is another problem faced by them. Then next one is they will not come under legal framework. They are not governed by the rules of the government. No, minimum wages act is not applicable to them. They are paid very less wages there. Then Factories Act, Provident Fund Act, all these things are not applicable to them. So that's why they will not come under legal framework. It is easy to exploit them. Then afterwards, next one is the child labor. So unorganized sector, it gives what? Motivation for child labor. Here the greedy people, they employ the children where they can get more work from them, but at very less wages. ಕಡಿಮೆ ಸಂಬಳ ಕೊಡ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಸಾಧ್ಯತೆ ಉಂಟು ಇವರಿಗೆ, ಕೆಲಸ ಎಷ್ಟು ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೂ ತಗೊಳ್ಬಹುದು ಹೌದಾ. ಸೊ ದಟ್ಸ್ ವೈ ಚೈಲ್ಡ್ ಲೇಬರ್. ಸಿ ಹೋಟೆಲ್ ಅಲ್ಲೆಲ್ಲ ಯು ವಿಲ್ ಫೈಂಡ್ ದ ಚಿಲ್ಡ್ರನ್ ಹೂ ವರ್ಕ್ ಆಸ್ ದ ಸರ್ವರ್ಸ್ ಹೌದಾ. ಸೊ ದೇ ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ ಪೇಡ್ ವೆರಿ ಲೆಸ್. ಅದೇ ಜಾಬಿಗೆ ಅದೇ ಕೆಲಸಕ್ಕೆ ಯಾರೋ ದೊಡ್ಡವರನ್ನ ಅಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ ಮಾಡಿಕೊಂಡ್ರೆ means the strong people, the young and the strong people, they will not be happy in that work ಅಲ್ವಾ. ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಅವರಿಗೆ ಕೆಲಸ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಇರೋದಿಲ್ಲ, ಪೇಮೆಂಟ್ ಕಡಿಮೆ ಸಿಗ್ತದೆ. ಇನ್ಸ್ಟೆಡ್ ಆಫ್ ದ್ಯಾಟ್ ವರ್ಕ್ ದೇ ವಿಲ್ ಚೂಸ್, ದೇ ವಿಲ್ ಗೋ ಫಾರ್ ಅನದರ್ ವರ್ಕ್. So who will be appointed in this type of work? Either children or the old people, ಹೌದಾ. So where they do not need much energy, much physical energy is not needed, ಹೌದಾ. So that's why children, child labor is motivated by this unorganized sector, and it is the main problem faced by the people, the laborers who work in unorganized sector. They are paid less, they have to work in dangerous place, hazardous place. Then after this one, last one is mental and next physical exploitation. Physical as well as mental exploitation they have to go through, especially the women. So in the previous period itself I have mentioned, no, today more than 77% of the women who are engaged in work, no, so these people are working in unorganized sector. So that's why what they have to, they will be engaged in domestic chorus. ಯಾರದೋ ಮನೆ ಪಾತ್ರೆ ತೊಳೆಯೋದು, ಬಟ್ಟೆ ತೊಳೆಯೋದು, ಮನೆ ಕ್ಲೀನಿಂಗು, ಅಡುಗೆ ಮಾಡೋದು, ಅಥವಾ ಮಗು ನೋಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋದು, ಈ ತರದ ಕೆಲಸದಲ್ಲಿ ಎಂಗೇಜ್ಡ್ ಇರ್ತಾರೆ. ಅಥವಾ ಅಗ್ರಿಕಲ್ಚರಲ್ ಫೀಲ್ಡ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಅಥವಾ ಯಾವುದೋ ಇಂಡಸ್ಟ್ರೀಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ದೇ ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ ಎಂಗೇಜ್. ಹಿಯರ್ ದೇ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟು ಅಂಡರ್ಗೋ even sexual exploitation. So this is how what the women and the laborers of unorganized sector, they have to go through children what physical as well as mental exploitation. So this is what explained in this last part of the lesson. Here one mark question you can expect, that is the book called Footlosers. Okay, what is the name of that book? Footlosers. You remember that? Okay, yes. So this is what we have, this how here we are completing discussion of this lesson. Before discussing the question and answer of this lesson, many of you have observed one thing. Previous week I have given you the question and answer of India's relationship with other nations, but I have not given the answer for first question there, no. What is the question there? Just I'll read it out. Now, your question is, why does countries need to have good relationship with other countries? So, this question you can find in the second lesson of political science also. That is, how does foreign policy aid a country in its development? See, same answer you can write for this, for both the questions. Okay, whatever answer is given there, no, for foreign policy second question, same answer is well and good with this question also. Okay, that's why you can copy the same one, or else for you remember that this, for this question also you have to write the same answer. So your doubt is clear. Few students have asked me, so that is what the answer you are expected to write. Now come to the question and answers of this lesson, that is labor. We'll give you 3 minutes time. Find the answers for all the fill in the blanks questions. Only 3 questions are there, I suppose. Dash laborers, they are called dash laborers. Soumya Agade. Landless laborers are called dash laborers. Soumya Agade. Otherwise, Sinchana D. Bhatt. Sinchana D. Bhatt.
Unorganized sector.
Yes, laborers of unorganized sector laborers. Now next one, laborers of medical institution are called as dash. What are they called, Pratham Pandit? Laborers of medical institutions are called as dash laborers. Pratham Pandit, are you there? Otherwise, Dhruva will tell me the answer. Dhruva? Who is that? Is it Dhruva or Pratham Pandit? Dhruva. Tell me the answer.
Organized laborers.
Yes, organized laborers. That is the right answer. Now, Roman number 2, observe the question there. What is division of labor? Already I have shared the page in the class. If you do not have, the answer will send you. Labor. What is labor with payment? What is labor without payment? So, for these two questions, you are not going to write the answer. Remember this. Okay. You are not going to write the answer for these two questions while copying from previous year's notes. Remember this, okay? So, payment paid ಮತ್ತೆ unpaid ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ ಈ ಸಲ ನಿಮಗೆ syllabus. Then, what is organized labor sector? What is unorganized sector labor? So, already we have discussed now while discussing the what difference there. Then, next one is what are the challenges faced by unorganized sector workers? Today we have discussed it. The points which you will write in unorganized sector, no difference between organized and unorganized laborers. So that will be the answer for this question also. You can add two more points. One is migration and another one is child labor. By adding these 2 points, you can complete the answer. What are the types of organized labor? Actually, in your textbook, types of organized labor is not explained. Here you can just write the examples. People who work in hospitals, people who work in schools, banks, they all come in which sector? Organized sector. That is what you can write here. Because types of organized sector laborers, it is not explained. Next, define discrimination in labor. Any person, if anybody goes against the rule, equal work, equal pay, that is called labor inequality. And if two people are paid different salaries for the same work, for the same strength and for the same effort, it is called what, children? Discrimination in labor. Okay? So then next one, explain the challenges faced on social security issue by the unorganized sector. Here, one separate paragraph is given for social security that you have to write. Then, difference between organized and unorganized sector. If you have taken the screenshot already, better. Otherwise, I will send you the answer later. So, already I have means whenever I complete the lesson, I will send you the question and answers. You should not lag behind, children. You have to be very quick. You should follow me very fast. Otherwise, tomorrow again I am going to start a new lesson. And what we will do, we have to what? If you are not very fast, if you are not following me, then your notes will become pending. You remember, no? I am going to give marks for internal assessment, 15 plus 15, 30 marks. It will be from your fair notebook only. It should be complete, it should be neat. ಯಾರದ್ದು ಫೇರ್ ನೋಟ್ಸ್ ಕಂಪ್ಲೀಟ್ ಇಲ್ವೋ, ಯಾರು ಹಿಂದೆ ಬೀಳ್ತಾ ಇದೀರೋ ಅವರು ನಿಮ್ಮ ಇಂಟರ್ನಲ್ ಅಸೆಸ್ಮೆಂಟ್ಗೆ ಮಾರ್ಕ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ನ ಕಳ್ಕೋತಾ ಇದ್ದೀರಿ. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ಐ ಆಮ್ ವೆರಿ ಪರ್ಟಿಕ್ಯುಲರ್ ಅಬೌಟ್ ನೋಟ್ಸ್. ದೆನ್ after this, next one is I have also sent you the question and answers of the lesson moral action. 22 questions, answers I have already sent. Close study and paragraph writing is remaining. By today evening, I will do that. Okay, so complete it very fast, children. Then, yeah. So it is about what you have to do. Then I have checked your answer sheets. Many of you have, some 50% students have been very prompt. You have written very honestly, but we can make out who have copied, who have not informed the parents. So that we can understand just by observing your answer sheet. We know each one of your ability. What are you? What can you do? That we know very well. So on the basis of that, we can check your honesty. Be honest always, children, because it is the right policy. Okay, yeah. Then Today we will start discussing the next lesson and the last lesson in the first semester. What is the name of the lesson? Who will tell me? Who knows the name of the lesson? You don't have textbook? Yeah, I have three students here. Yes. Yes, Sudhanma. Sudhanma, what is the name of the lesson?
Opposition to social and religious reform movements.
Yes, social and reformation movement is the name of the lesson. Social and religious reform movement. Social and religious reform movement is our last lesson in the first semester. So, it is speaking about what children, this lesson speaks about the achievement made by Indians in 19th century. Now we are going to discuss about the great people who fought against the social evils that prevailed in the 19th century. So already in your 7th standard, you have learnt about these people. 19th century of India is called, children, what? It is called the reawakening period of India, the Renaissance period in India by the European historians. Europeans didn't know about our Ramanujacharya, Shankaracharya, Basaveshwara, they didn't know. They thought that till the 19th century in India all these social problems prevailed and nobody fought against that. They might have thought like that. They thought that it is only because of the introduction of Western education, Indians started to think about the social evils prevailed in their society, and what did they do? They fought against it. They tried to reform the society. That was thought, maybe thought by the European historians. That's why they called that period as the reawakening period of Indian society. Okay, reawakening, Renaissance period of Indian society it is called. So now children, be very prompt, be very honest. Okay, we are going to discuss about each and every person in detail. No, anyhow, what do you remember about the people who tried to reform the society in the 19th century? You have to take their names and what do you remember about them, that you have to tell me without opening the textbook. I have to blindly believe you because I cannot see anyone of you here. No. ನಿಮ್ಮ ಆನೆಸ್ಟಿ ಅಷ್ಟೇ ನಿಮಗೆ ಉಳಿಯೋದು. Your conscience says whether you are honest or not. Yeah, I have one student. Please can I say it? Huh? Anurag? Not available. What happened? Not audible. Yeah, only for Anurag am I not audible? Are you all, can you all listen to me, children? Raise your hands and give affirmation. Audible. Okay, okay, nice. Yeah, now, first student, yeah. Yes, I have Sri Harsha Pannaga, then I have Rashmi. Yeah, I have Sudhanma. Bhuvana. Bhuvana, can you tell me what do you remember? Bhuvana?
Mataji saw it by mistake.
You have raised your hand by mistake. Okay. Then only two students remember something. Yes, Sumuk is there, Nutan is there, Sri Harsha is there. Okay, I'll speak to Nutan. Nutan, what do you remember?
Shankaracharya.
You remember about Shankaracharya, but Shankaracharya lived in 15th century, Madi. 14th, 15th century, I think, his period. We are talking about 19th century. Yes, Sumuk, what do you remember?
हेलो माता जी।
हाँ Sumukh, yeah, you are audible.
Raja Ram Mohan Roy
Exactly. Yeah, then who else?
fought against Sati system.
Yes, very nice. Then,
Jyotiba Phule,
yeah, next.
women education.
Yeah, nice. Then,
Only these two I remember.
you remember about these two people. Yes, Akshay, do you remember anything? Very nice. Dayananda Saraswati. What do you remember about Dayananda Saraswati? You remember only his name. Do you remember the organization established by him?
Brahma Samaj.
Brahma Samaj. Okay, Brahma Samaj is not this person's. What? Dayananda Saraswati's organization. Yes, yes, Sri Harsha. Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, you are audible. What is the name of the institution built by him? Organization? Dayananda Saraswati's.
I think Prarthana Samaja.
No. Karthik Hegde.
Arya Samaja.
Correct answer is Arya Samaj. Okay. So when we have taken the names of these three religious reformers, no, social reformers we can call them. See, we will know something about these people. First, Sumukh has taken the name of Raja Ram Mohan Rai. No, what do you remember? What do you know about Raja Ram Mohan Rai? Be very honest, children. If you do not remember anything, that is okay. No problem at all. Huh? Yeah. About Raja Ram Mohan Rai, yes, Sri Harsha knows something and Sumukh knows something. Yes, Sri Harsha, what do you know?
He established a Brahma Samaja and fought against Sati system. He was able to pass act by British against the Sati system.
He, what? Once again, last sentence.
By the help of British, he passed the Sati system Prohibition Act.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. So, very special feature of 19th century's socio-religious reformation movement is that children, the people who fought against social evils, no, they tried to abolish it with the help of laws. You remember this. They forced the government to pass a law which abolishes, which prohibited that particular social evil. For that, the best example is Sati system. See, Raja Ram Mohan Rai, he was very much disturbed when his own sister-in-law, when his own when his own brother's wife was forced to practice that Sati system. You all know the meaning of Sati system, no? So, funeral fire, in the funeral fire of the husband, the wife used to what? Burn herself alive. See how cruel it was, how courageous that women were to be. So they were so courageous. So in the name of religion, they practiced that very cruel event. So that is Sati system. Raja Ram Mohan Rai, he was very much disturbed by this event. That's why he fought against this Sati system, and finally in the year 1829, remember this event, children, in the year 1829, at that time the Governor General of India was Lord William Bantic. What was his name, children? Lord William Bantic. Remember this person's name. So this person helped Raja Ram Mohan Rai, and both of these people together worked against Sati system, and finally in the year 1829, Sati system was abolished by the law of the government. So this is the great work done by Raja Ram Mohan Rai. So we have to remember Raja Ram Mohan Rai for this purpose, and especially for his institution Brahmo Samaj. Okay, what is the name of his institution? Brahmo Samaj. See, I always tell you, these Bengali people, for O, what do they use? O. Always I used to call Anurag, Onurag, right? So, Brahma Samaj anta ನಾವು ಕನ್ನಡದಲ್ಲಿ ಹೇಳ್ತೇವೆ, but they called it Brahmo Samaj, BRAHMO. Brahmo Samaj was established by Raja Ram Mohan Rai in the year 1828. You will remember, these 2 years. Why is 1829 very important in the history of India? Who will tell me now? Why is the year 1829 very important in the history of India? Who will tell me the answer? Yes, yes, Rashmi. Rashmi?
Because in this year, Sati System Prohibiting Act was passed.
Yeah, in the year 1829, a law was passed abolishing Sati system. Okay, so Raja Ram Mohan Rai Nenpitkolli, he is called the father of Renaissance in India. He is called the harbinger. Okay, the harbinger of modern India. He is called, children. He is also called the prophet of Indian nationalism. Huh? And he is also called, children, progenitor of socio-religious reformation movement in India. All these three names were given by Ravindranath Tagore. Okay, Harbinger ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಭಾರತ ದೇಶ ಮುಂದೆ ಯಾವ ರೀತಿ ಇರ್ತದೆ ಹೇಳೋದನ್ನ ಒಂದು ಅವರ ಪರ್ಸನಾಲಿಟಿಯನ್ನ ನೋಡಿ ಅಂದಾಜು ಮಾಡಬಹುದಿತ್ತು. ಹಾರ್ಬಿಂಜರ್ ಆಫ್ ಮಾಡರ್ನ್ ಇಂಡಿಯಾ, progenitor of socio-religious reformation movement in India. Andre progenitor andre starter, initiator. Then next one is prophet. You know, no, Prophet Muhammad, Pravadi, prophet of Indian nationalism. So Raja Ram Mohan Rai, he was given all these titles by the great poet of India, that is Ravindranath Tagore. Okay, remember these things about Raja Ram Mohan Rai. Whenever you take the name of Raja Ram Mohan Rai, children, remember that he is his contribution to the society, that is with his effort, Lord William Banting abolished Sati system. 1828 establishment of Brahmo Samaj. 1829 abolition of Sati system. Great work done by Raja Ram Mohan Rai. Yes, later we'll go for Dayananda Saraswati. Akshay has taken the name of Dayananda Saraswati, my children. So, why is Dayananda Saraswati popular? He established Arya Samaj. That is nice. Arya Samaj was established by him 1875. Arya Samaj, establishment of Arya Samaj 1875. Yes. Can anybody tell me about the special work of Arya Samaj? If you do not remember, I will tell you. So this Arya Samaj started Shuddhi movement, children. Arya Samaj and the Takshana Nempitkodri, Shuddhi movement should come to your mind. Shuddhi movement andre ಏನಪ್ಪ? So during that time, many Hindus were forcefully converted to other religions, maybe Islam or maybe Christianity. Hindus ಅನ್ನ ಯಾವ ಧರ್ಮಕ್ಕೆ ಬೇರೆ ಧರ್ಮಕ್ಕೆ ಫೋರ್ಸ್ಫುಲ್ ಆಗಿ ಕನ್ವರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿಬಿಟ್ಟಿದ್ರು ಆಲ್ರೆಡಿ. But in Hindu religion, there was one problem. If any Hindu gets converted to other religion, no, he could not come back to Hindu religion. That was the problem. So during Mughal period, especially during Aurangzeb's time, no, children, many Hindus were forcefully converted to Islam religion. Okay. So ಅವರಿಗೆ ಪಾಪ ಹಿಂದೂಯಿಸಂಗೆ ವಾಪಸ್ ಬರಬೇಕು ಅಂದ್ರೂ ಕೂಡ there was no other way to come back. So that's why this Arya Samaj started what, children? Shuddhi movement. For what you have to remember this Arya Samaj and its founder Dayananda Saraswati. You have to remember it for its what, children? Your Shuddhi movement. Okay. Then later, third thing, Sumukh has taken the name of Jyotiba Phule. So Jyotiba Phule, very important person who fought against caste system. Then who fought for giving education to the girls. So Jyotiba Phule's wife, Savitribai Phule. What is her name? Savitribai Phule. She is the first women teacher of India. Okay. So remember this. What might be their contribution to girls' education? She is the first women teacher of India, and the first girls' school of India was opened by these couples. Okay, these great couples, that is Jyotiba Phule and Savitribai Phule. The first women's school was started by them. Then Sri Harsha told about Prarthana Samaj, right? So what is this Prarthana Samaj always remembered for? Actually, Prarthana Samaj was not established by Dayananda Saraswati. Who did establish it, that we will learn later. But Prarthana Samaj also gave its main contribution for what, children? Education, women education and education. It established many educational institutions and first girls high school. See here, first girls school, the credit of establishing first girls school goes to whom? Jyotiba Phule and his wife Savitribai Phule. But the credit of establishing first girls high school goes to Mahadev Govindaranade, one of the leaders of Prarthana Samaj. So hope you will remember. Already I have told about 4 people. So did you like something about Rajaram Mohan Rai? What will you remember about Rajaram Mohan Rai? I have told many things about Rajaram Mohan Rai. No? ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಎಂತೆಂತ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಮನಸ್ಸಿನ ಮೇಲೆ ಬಂತು ನಿಮ್ಮ ಮನಸ್ಸಲ್ಲಿ ಕೂತ್ಕೊಂಡು ದಟ್ ಐ ವಾಂಟ್ ಟು ನೋ. Shall I speak to Siri? Shall I speak to Siri? Is there Siri in the class?
Yes, Mataji.
Yes. What will you remember about Rajaram Mohan Primary? What comes to your mind?
Mataji, he was a social reformer.
That we know. He was a great social reformer.
Mataji, I don't know much.
What were you doing, Siri? Were you dreaming? Huh? Nowadays you are becoming very inactive. What happened to you? I don't understand. Huh? See, so many things I have told. No, many inspiring things I have told. Huh? Then I'll collect information from Tejasvi Bhatt.
Mataji, he was the founder of Brahma Samaja.
That I have to. Okay. Yes, nice. But at once you have to tell, no? Tejasvi.
He eradicated Sati system by law.
He abolished Sati system. Yes, nice. Huh? Then I'll go to Vidya Shetty. ನಾ ಭಾಳ ಮನಸ್ಸು ಕೊಟ್ಟು ಇಷ್ಟೆಲ್ಲ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪ್ಲೇನ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಇಟ್ಬಿಟ್ಟೆ. ಖುಷಿ ಆಯ್ತು ನಿಮ್ಗೆಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ತಿಳ್ಕೊಂಡೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ನೋಡ್ರೆ I'm feeling very sad now. Yes, Vidya Shetty. ಅತ್ತಾಜಿ ನಾನ್ ಅರ್ಧಂಬರ್ಧ ಕೇಳಿಸ್ಕೊಂಡೆ. ಹಂಗುಂಟ ವಿದ್ಯಾ? Are you there in the class? Vidya, you are in a very good network area. Vivekanand Nagar is my place, I know. Vidya, you have to speak. If you do not remember, if you are
Yes, Mataji.
Yes, Vidya. Hello, how are you? Very fine. Vidya, are you very fine?
How, Mataji? Yes,
now,
Mataji.
now tell me about Rajaram Mohan Rai. ಯಾ ವಿದ್ಯಾ, ಕನಸು ಕಾಣುವುದು ಆರೋಗ್ಯಕ್ಕೆ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಹಾನಿಕರ ಅಂತ ನಿಂಗುಂಟು ಕತೆ. ಕನಸು ಕಾಣಬೇಕು, ಆದ್ರೆ ಪಾಠ ನಡಿಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಇಷ್ಟೆಲ್ಲ ಕನಸು ಕಾಣೋದು ಸೂಕ್ತ. ಏನೋ ನಾನು ಲೇಬರ್ ಪಾಠನೇ ಹಿಂಗೆ ತೆಗ್ತಾ ಇದ್ರೆ ಅಂತ ಒಂದು ಲೆಕ್ಕ. ಇದೆಂತ ಹ ಪಾಪ ಕಾರ್ತಿಕ್ ಪಿ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಏನೋ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ, ಕೇಳುವ ಅವ್ರು ಏನ್ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ.
Mataji, with the efforts of Rajaram Mohan Rai and with the help of William Bentinck, they have made a law.
They made a law, and what was that law against?
Sati system, prohibition of Sati system.
Yes, it abolished Sati system, no? In which year do you remember, Karthik P. Hegde? 1829.
The year 1829.
Yes, in the year 1829. Why Rajaram Mohan Rai means he fought what against Sati system that much? Why did it become somewhat the aim of his life? Do you remember which event influenced him to take steps against that? Yeah, does anybody remember that? Yes, Akshay remembers. Yes, Akshay.
And his sister, daughter-in,
Brother's son, sister-in-law.
sister-in-law was forced to do such a system.
Yes, that is correct answer. So children, meeting is going to end within 4 minutes. So today's discussion we will stop. But I want to tell you something. So always I speak about the competitive exams. No. That day I was telling you about IAS, IPS and all. UPSC exam and KPSC exam I was speaking about. See, think one thing, okay? Always keep in your mind one thing, children. You may opt science, you may opt commerce, you may opt your arts. You all have got entry to UPSC and KPSC. ಸೈನ್ಸ್ ಫೀಲ್ಡಿಗೆ ಹೋಗಿ ನೀವು ಇಂಜಿನಿಯರಿಂಗ್ ಮುಗಿಸ್ರಿ, ಅಥವಾ ನೀವು ಮೆಡಿಸಿನ್ ಓದ್ರಿ, ಅಥವಾ ನೀವು ಕಾಮರ್ಸ್ ಫೀಲ್ಡಿಗೆ ಹೋಗಿ CA ಆಗ್ರಿ. ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ನೀವೇನಾದ್ರೂ IAS IPS ಎಕ್ಸಾಮ್ ಬದಲಿಸಿ, ಬೀಯಿಂಗ್ ಅನ್ IAS ಆಫೀಸರ್ ಇನ್ ಇಟ್ ಸೆಲ್ಫ್ ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಅ ರೆಪ್ಯುಟೇಷನ್. ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಬೀಯಿಂಗ್ ಇಂಜಿನಿಯರ್, ಡೋಂಟ್ ಡ್ರೀಮ್ ಅಬೌಟ್ ಇಟ್. ಸೊ ಥಿಂಕ್ ಅಬೌಟ್ IAS, ಥಿಂಕ್ ಅಬೌಟ್ KAS. ನೀವು ಗ್ರೇಟ್ ಆಗ್ಬಿಡ್ತೀರಿ ಇನ್ ಇಟ್ ಸೆಲ್ಫ್ ಬೈ ಪಾಸಿಂಗ್ ದಟ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಮಿನೇಷನ್. ಸೊ ಇಂಜಿನಿಯರ್ ಕೂಡ ನೀವು IAS ಆಫೀಸರ್ ಆಗ್ಬಹುದು, ಅಥವಾ CA ಕೂಡ IAS ಆಫೀಸರ್ ಆಗ್ಬಹುದು. ದಿಸ್ ಅರವಿಂದ್ ಕೇಜ್ರಿವಾಲ್ ಇಸ್ ದೇರ್, ನೋ, ಡೆಲ್ಲಿ ಚೀಫ್ ಮಿನಿಸ್ಟರ್. ಸೊ ದಿಸ್ ಪರ್ಸನ್ actually he is chartered accountant. Okay, by his profession he was a chartered accountant, but he passed IAS examination. You know about Ajit Doval, no? So everybody is inspired by Ajit Doval. ಹೌದಾ? ನ್ಯಾಷನಲ್ ಸೆಕ್ಯೂರಿಟಿ ಚೀಫ್ ಸೆಕ್ರೆಟರಿ ಅಲ್ವಾ ಈಗ ಅವರು, ಎಂತೆಂತ ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಸೊ ದ್ಯಾಟ್ ಪರ್ಸನ್, ಓಕೆ, ಹಿ ವಾಸ್ IPS ಫಸ್ಟ್. ಸೊ ಇಂಜಿನಿಯರಿಂಗ್ ಓದ್ಕೊಂಡು ಬರೀ ಇಂಜಿನಿಯರ್ ಆಗಿ ಉಳ್ಕೊಳ್ಬೇಕು ಅಂತಿಲ್ಲ, ಡಾಕ್ಟರ್ ಆಗಿ ಬೇರೆ ಅದಾಗೆ ಉಳ್ಕೊಳ್ಬೇಕು ಅಂತಿಲ್ಲ. ಯು ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಅಟೆಂಪ್ಟ್ ಫಾರ್ UPSC examination, IPSC examination, Indian Naval Force, Air Force. Dream, children. You should have a dream, no? If you dream, then you will start studying. So it is the age where you have to start. ಆಮೇಲೆ ಎಲ್ಲೋ ದೊಡ್ಡಾಕೊಂಡು ನಾನು ಕೋಚಿಂಗ್ ಕ್ಲಾಸಿಗೆ ಹೋಗ್ತೇನೆ, ದಟ್ ಶುಡ್ ನಾಟ್ ಬಿ ಯುವರ್ ಪೊಸಿಷನ್. ಪೀಪಲ್ ಆಫ್ ಉತ್ತರ ಕನ್ನಡ, ಎಸ್ಪೆಷಲಿ ದ ಪೀಪಲ್ ಆಫ್ ಶಿರ್ಸಿ, very hard working, very intelligent, but they do not do hard work at all. Don't be like that. It is the very time to increase your knowledge, have a dream, okay? Then also attempt to fulfill your dream. That is my suggestion, my best advice to you all people. Hope you will somewhat you will start thinking about all these things. Competitive exams, very important. I have told you about KVPY also. Hope you will make preparation for all those things with your academics. Yeah, very much. Thank you very much, children. Let us end the class here. Thank you very much.